never make you delete this stuff anyway, don't you?
No, I don't. Okay, we're live, but
Yeah.
I don't delete this stuff from the pre-stream. I delete it from the podcast.
Yeah, from the podcast. Yeah. It's the only place where the countdown banter is available is on YouTube, right?
Right, but still, there's some people that sit through the banter before we go live. That
Yeah, I know.
We don't want to give away the hen house. We still want the eggs and the chickens.
I can't find a bloody. Oh, there we are. Okay.
Ouchie Dumpling, if I could give you a finalizer shard, I certainly would. Or not a finalizer shard, a Xanadu blood shard.
Okay, I'm gonna get my hellos out. So who have we got? Ouchie!
We got a troll sitting in the thing, and I'll just say this right now: I will absolutely not have a problem with hitting the bye-bye buttons. Just gonna say that right now.
So, Team Wednesday, that's a new one.
Yeah, well, no, it's not a new one.
Is it not?
It's not. It's technically not a new one.
All right. Okay. So, okay then. Hello, Team Wednesday. Hello, the Dagger. Hello, Lennox. Hello, Ouchie. AndyBeadz. Bodie.
Kyle, I thought you were somebody else.
There's DPK.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Stream elements, bot running elements. Okay. We got a bot in chat.
I do have a bot in chat.
What's the stream elements bot?
It's something that I'm working on for the show. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
You ignore that.
Okay. I mean, I will ignore the bots. I finished my drink already, and I'm already eating the ice.
Well, don't eat ice during the show itself, because the last thing I need is for the podcast listeners to hear, what the Oh, man. What's going on, Skywalker Vader? Good to see you. I need to turn up the volume on that thing. Let's see, hold on. Okay, and then I'm gonna turn.
DPK, when were you not you? DPK was Team Wednesday. They're doing a new thing. Go check them out. Look for Team Wednesday. It's Dan and Kyle do Hollywood. Now Team Wednesday. Oh, right, okay. Oh, yeah. Ouchie. Yes, there is a false Nev. He's an Aussie. He was Nevrock, but when I switched from Nev to Neil Andrew Air on the Escape Pod Cast Discord server, he just went with Nev. So it's not the real Nev, it's a fake Nev. Totally fake. There's only one Nev. He's sitting right here.
It's fake Nev. Uh-oh. Neil, my screen show's less than a minute. Radio silence.
Go silent. Silence.
Good evening, my fellow Padawans. This is Big Hoots 916, or be counts if your name is Paul, from a guild simply known as Chilled. And you're listening to the Escape Pod Cast with your boys Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Eyre. This show was recorded in front of a live studio audience. And now, without further ado, enjoy the show.
One is a Grand Arena specialist from the UK. The other is a territory battle tactician from the US. Together, there are no signs of intelligent life on board. With both having played this game since launch, the one thing we are sure of is that you will be entertained. The Escape Pod Cast, a service of the Escape Pod Castaways. A weekly podcast about the mobile game Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Live from the network studios of Yavin 4, here are your hosts, Neil Andrew Eyre and Paul Anthony.
Coming up on this week's edition of the Escape Pod Cast.
The February Q&A is out.
And some claim it to be the best one yet.
And others feel it is one more thing to complain about.
And there are those who just complain to complain.
Oh, they have a right to complain.
To be wrong.
Fine, mate. We will get into that. The newest update is finalized.
I see what you did there. But there were some interesting changes in it as well.
I tracked down a surprising guest this week for us.
Oh, really? I did get worried about Shattered Order and them having to cancel, but who do you have?
AndyBeadz.
Ooh, you're heading back to Twitch for some guests now, I see.
Yes, I am. And he was top of my list.
Ah, excellent work, my friend.
Before that, though, I do kind of need to address something with the community. And of course, I will share my question that obviously went unanswered.
Neil, what did you do?
Segment 2, sir. Just wait.
All right, well, in our final segment, we talk about the new established IP that now has its own 5-man combat game, and we tell you if we think that it's worth a shot.
All this and breaking news as and if it happens.
Right here on the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast News.
Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another fine edition of the Escape Pod Cast. I'm Neil Andrew Eyre, and my host is over there. Here's Paul Anthony. Paul, how are you doing, and did you enjoy your birthday earlier on this week?
Yes. Oh my gosh, thank you for reminding me to mention a few things here. I'm doing well. I'm hoping that you're doing well, Neil.
Oh, I'm doing lovely. I'm doing very well.
Excellent. Speaking of birthdays, I had a few listeners send some things for the birthday. They showed up throughout the week. Behind me, I don't know if you can see this, Neil.
I can.
I don't have it powered on, hopefully, right now. But so they made a Yavin 4 watchtower, since they're now part of our guild that I'm in, Yavin 4. They made a Yavin 4 watchtower. It has lights and everything. But they also sent an official escape pod.
That just looks awesome.
Oh, but wait.
What's in the escape pod?
But wait.
It's a picture of Scotty.
It's a picture of Scotty inside the escape
Scotty's
pod.
in the escape pod.
That made me laugh so much. The whole entire thing. I mean, thank you to Bringer. Thank you to Punchy. We appreciate you guys.
Oh, totally, yeah. Who doesn't like free stuff?
But it's not free stuff, my man. That was handmade.
Yeah, no, 3D printed. You know, and I know how long 3D printing takes, so that would have taken like forever.
But also, I was told not to open this. Until the show. all I did was, it's not fully open, as you see. I'm now
we'll leave that to the
ripping
fourth
into this.
segment. Or are you doing it now?
This was sent to me by Run DMV. Okay. Oh my gosh. Well, he said that it was show themed. It absolutely is. It is the Escape Pod versus Dewback Rider Lego Star Wars Battle.
Yeah.
That is awesome. I'm not going to put it together during the show. I have to put it far away from me, right? Put it right up here.
Put it away. Put it away.
I'm going to put it away.
Because we have a very, very, very packed show today.
We do.
We are going to be lucky to be keeping this under 2 hours.
All right. Just really quick, some housekeeping things. Our push to 1,000 is still going. Of the things that are on the 1,000 list here, let's see here.
There's lots of things on the 1,000 list now, isn't there?
There's a lot of things. Neil, you will donate your hair to the Princess Foundation.
Little Princess Foundation.
Bringer of Chaos is going to do the same. DPK is giving away the $50 US in a gift card and a Zeta and Gear 13 on a character that you personally regret that you did. He will reciprocate. Apropos will give away his Season 4 Star Trek Next Generation poster to a Talking Picard listener. Sir Boss will get his makeup done and something about a glitter beard. I don't even want to go into this. And just this week, Dagger says that he will take his troopers, best known on the Team Wednesday segment of Will Dagger's Troopers Beat This? He's going to take them to Gear 12. On top of that, this is the final 24 hours, if you will, to become a Patreon, just over 24 hours, to become a Patreon and be entered to win a shirt from Llama. If you become a new Patreon, you'll get double your chances. If you increase your pledge, you'll get chances there. I will let you know that you will get charged again at the beginning of the month. But this is your final chance in the 1 month span. We'll do this again, but we'll do it in a 3 month span next quarter.
Yeah, it's about 30 hours because obviously, it's a leap year. So we get a February the 29th this year.
Exactly. So you've got a little bit of that. But people didn't come here and people didn't tune in to listen to me talk about supporting the show or whatnot.
No.
They want to hear about Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes and the things that we enjoy.
Yes. And one of the things that we love to do, and as all content creators love to do, is talk about the Q&A when they do the Q&A. Because we had a Q&A yesterday, and boy, how awesome was that Q&A. I mean, really. I mean, so awesome. Paul?
All right. Hellenix, I'll check out what you just sent me in the first break. You just sent me a message to check.
All right. I thought you weren't hearing me for a second there.
No, I did. Let's get into. I chose to ignore you, sir. The first page of the Q&A.
Yes.
Nothing. I didn't have anything on it. What about you?
Okay, so I only have 8 questions really from the Q&A that I was a little bit perturbed by, intrigued. There's some interesting things going on there, but the first one that kind of jumps to mind is the question: any plans to add characters, update characters from Clone Wars Season 7? Cough, Bad Batch, cough. Do you know why there is a different number for Echo in this episode versus what we have in the game? So I thought this was a good question.
Okay, it was on the first page here. I threw away the first page. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I thought this was a good, pertinent question because obviously we've got Clone Wars Season 7 out now. And, I'll be the first to admit I think it's imperative that, we get some new characters in the game from this season. Unfortunately, C.G. Miller didn't answer the question. So he said that he's a fan of the Clone Wars and he's excited by what he's seen so far. And then he just talked about Echo's number. So I'm a little bit disappointed because that was a good question. And we didn't get a yes, there are plans, a no, there are plans. So good question. bad answer. So that's the first question that we went into regarding Echo's number. They mentioned that canonically has both designations over the course of the show,
Yes.
and they're just going with the one that they want to. So that's the way that they're doing things there. The next question that jumped to mind is the next one. What was the thinking with Finalizer and Radus? Are they to counter the arena meta used in territory battles? The new raid. So lots to unpack there. But again, it's a good question because it's about the Finalizer and the Radus. And again, disappointing answer, but it was CG Miller, and his answer was, we see capital ships as the leaders of fleet battles. Of course, you need one for each fleet you intend to use beyond just Fleet Arena, so GAC and Territory Wars. And our goal is to get as many capital ships into the game as we can, and this is the important part, and worry less about where their meta placement ends up. The supporting ships in the fleet go a long way in shaking up the meta, so once we feel we've got a good handle on capital ships, we will start introducing new ones. But that line, worry less about where their meta placement is, kind of makes me think, well, basically we've got GK's ship, we've got the Negotiator, which is a really, really difficult ship to get. You know, it's not the easiest ship in the world to farm for and to get because it requires GET2 currency. And these new ships that they're bringing in are just going to be, buyable. I mean, literally, they're going to be purchasable from the store, and you're also going to be able to just do the event do the event, and you'll be able to get the shards that way. So it's not something that you have to, save up GET2 currency for, and then save up more currency in order to get them through 6 and 7 stars. So if these new ships are coming out and they're not caring about the meta, they could end up making capital ships that are easy for people to get, that totally destroy ships that are very difficult to get, that a lot of people spent a lot of hard time and a lot of hard currency, getting. So I take issue with them not really caring or worrying about the meta placement for these new capital ships that they're bringing in. So that's my criticism of the response to that question.
I wouldn't pick apart that. Dagger did say that in our chat that Negotiator and Malevolence are actually the easiest free-to-play capital ships to get. That's absolutely 100% true. They really are the easiest to get.
If you're in a guild getting the currency.
If you're in a guild getting the currency, that's true.
Exactly. So if you're not in a guild getting the currency, it's not easy to get. There are caveats to how easy it is to get those ships. Whereas if you farmed for the correct ships, you can definitely get shards for the other ones.
But still, at the same time, it does come down to the fact that I wouldn't be too worried about the about that either. I honestly would not be too worried about that either.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
My
chat's going up and down, and I apologize. I can see where your point is on that. I really can, but I wouldn't be too worried about that, Neil.
Okay.
I honestly would not be too worried about that.
Okay, next one. Nice short and sweet one, this. Dear developers, there are 2 Empire capital ships in the game, but only 5 Empire starfighters, and none of them is a tank. Without a good tank, a fleet isn't competitive. Are there any plans to make an Empire tank starfighter? And again, CG Miller provided a response, and the response was, TIE Bomber would be a perfect ship to make. It had many appearances in the canon, and it would carry on the line of bombers, Hyena, Y-Wing. The Empire has a ton of cool TIEs we have yet to put into the game's collectible units. The TIE Bomber is just one of them, and your instinct on carrying on the tradition in bombers like the Hyena and Y-Wing is a smart one. But it didn't, which is a great conversation piece. But he didn't actually say if there were any plans to make an Empire starfighter tank. It would have been nice if he'd added, the TIE Bomber. Yeah, the TIE Bomber is a perfect ship to make, but unfortunately we don't plan on making it. Or The other answer would have been, oh, we totally plan on making an Empire, TIE bomber.
I think they're going to make this TIE bomber. I mean, the way they said the TIE bomber is just one of them, and your instinct on carrying on the tradition in bombers like the Hyena and Y-Wing is a smart one. So let's look at that. That's one of the ones I starred here. What if we get the Resistance bomber? What if we get the TIE bomber? I think that bombers and damage over time effects, and sticking them to ships and things like that, I really truly think that is going to be a major thing in the future of this game.
Yeah, no, it'd be nice. I don't disagree that, a TIE bomber would be a perfect ship to make. It just would have been nice if he'd, answered the question in either the affirmative. Yes, there are plans to make an Empire tank starfighter, or there are no immediate plans to make, an answer would have been really, really nice to that question, because it was a good question. I keep going over these really good questions.
You did give one.
And they're not really getting. They said that one of the things that we get frustrated with is them, sugar coating responses, and that's something that they could have given us a yay or a nay on. Yes, we have plans to do it. No, we don't have plans to do it. Not difficult.
I think. Okay, so if they were to say, and this is where it gets exhausting for me. I'm going to go back to how many weeks ago was it where I became left guy on the, according to
2 weeks.
2 weeks ago, I became left guy. Left guy apologizes for CG, and I really think he believes it. Guys, I'm not apologizing for CG. I'm giving them credit where credit should be due. Notice, I didn't say is due. We'll get to.
Oh, yeah, no, I totally agree. You give credit where credit is due.
So they're making a game. We play the game. We are their consumers. They should be listening to the consumers. I think in this case, they're actually starting to listen to the community, and we'll get to that in a later question. But they can't confirm that a specific item is coming to the game, but they're hinting, just like use your benevolence when the malevolence was coming. You'll slap your forehead when Kiadi Mundi was coming. They're giving us hints without actually saying things and confirming things. Okay? So, lay off of them a little bit. And this is why in the open I said, stop complaining just for the sake of complaining. Give them a break.
It's not complaining. It's a legitimate criticism. A question was asked and an answer was not forthcoming, just a response. An interesting response, but there was no legitimate answer to the question. You get, a lot of the time people will ask good questions and we get responses, not answers. And that is something that they could have answered. Yes, there are plans in the future. No, there are no plans in the future. That's because all the guy was asking was, are there any plans, to make an Empire tank starfighter? And I think that it's something that they can give an answer to, especially since they change their answers from the affirmative to the negative anyway when they throw subject to change at the end of a post. So if it's something that they plan to do, they can say, yeah, we plan to do that, we just don't know when we're going to do it, but there are plans to do it. Or now we don't have any plans to do that. And then they've answered the question.
If there were plans and they didn't come out to fruition, people would be having their heads, Neil.
Yeah, but we people are having their heads anyway because they change responses anyway. So why not just answer the question?
They did answer the question. Let's move on because
let's move on. Okay, so the
non-answer are two totally different things.
So the next question was the ticket one, which obviously, the new tickets for the new system.
I did as well. I have that as well.
Yep. So the question is, how will the new ticket system work? For example, when a player reaches the amount of tickets to enter the Galactic Legends event but loses, does that mean he or she, or they, them, him, these, them, will have to grind for those tickets again? And CG Miller responded, you will need to engage in the core game to earn the new tickets, and there is a cap on how many you can hold. Your tickets are consumed upon attempting the Galactic Legend event, and win or lose, you will need additional tickets to play the event again. The event itself is not intended to be the challenge level we have seen in the past with units like Malik and General Skywalker, so expect better success rate for each attempt. And I actually thought that see, that was a good question and it was a good answer. And credit where credit is due. Good question, good answer this time. See, I'm giving credit.
All right. And so, one thing I wanted to point out about that, the event itself was not intended to be the challenge level we've seen in the past. So it honestly is rewarding people for relicking characters and creating teams and factions to their specified levels where they would like to see these characters be. Now, but the very end, so expect better success rates for each attempt. Do you think, and I'm just throwing this out there, do you think the first time you go in you're going to end up fighting level 100 enemies, but if you fail, do you think the next time you'll fight level 99 and the next time you'll fight 98 until you pass it because of better success rate for each attempt?
I think it's going to be more. I think it's going to be more along the lines of mods. I think it'll be more along the lines of mods. So if you fail the first time around, it might just be because so you lose in one area and you think, right, okay, so I need health mods, or I need protection mods, or I need more speed, so I'll change the speed mods on that character, and then you go again. So I don't think it's because they're saying that it's not going to be the challenge level that we see for the likes of Malik and Skywalker. Hopefully it's just a case of tweaking mods a bit like when I did a bit like Paul when you saw when I did when I used my geos to get my 7-star Padme.
Oh, I don't want to talk about that.
all I had to I had the wrong mods on one character, and all I had to do was tweak the mods on one character, and Bob's your uncle. I did it straight away. So I can see it being something like that. The event itself not being too challenging, but making sure that you haven't got like stupidly weak mods on your characters. Having at least 60 mods on your relic characters or something along those lines.
Yeah. 356 attempts before the Geonosians became overpowerful.
Smallest violin in the world, playing just for you, mate.
Yeah.
But the tickets, hopefully you can at least stack enough tickets for 2 or 3 attempts, because that's going to really, really annoy people if it takes forever to build these tickets up and you run out of tickets on your first 2 or 3 attempts. So hopefully the limit isn't too limiting, Yeah.
Let's speed up a little bit here. The next one that I had was about arena shards being rotated. Did you highlight that one?
No, I didn't bother with that one because I kind of understand why they don't get rotated.
There you go. You understand why they're not rotated, guys. You started at a certain time. It really wouldn't be fair to throw a minnow into a kraken pond. It really wouldn't. That's how we look at it. One of the things that I had: how do you constitute a hero's journey, epic confrontation, a legendary or galactic legend? And then on there, they essentially said they intended to balance gameplay. They also, I don't know if it was here or if it was later, where they basically said that they're not done with Hero's Journey and Galactic Legends and all that. So we're going to see more characters. Right now, the hot flavor of the month is these Galactic Legends.
Yeah.
So, and then right before art, let's see here.
I've got a big one.
We're going to save that question. I'm putting that right there on the computer.
So I've got a big one, which was a very good question, and it got a response from CG Viking and SB Crumb.
Well, let's save that one. That's going to be the last question.
Do you know which question I'm talking about?
I do. I know which one.
I would like to know why you as a group.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, we'll save
We'll go
that
back
one.
to that.
Okay, then
question.
I've got two more, but
Okay.
they're relatively short ones. You've got an art one, haven't you?
I do have an art one. Art team, how dare you? You need to fix the loading screen for Chewbacca. His bandolier is on the wrong shoulder.
I thought that was an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, even everybody makes mistakes, all right?
Yeah.
You know, and maybe Chewie just got dressed in the opposite direction that morning. For that photo shoot? Who knows?
Yeah.
Don't judge CD for that. Do you plan on repeat offers like hyperdrive bundles more often, or was this a one-time thing? The hyperdrive bundle is a one-time purchase, and we do not plan on doing another version of the hyperdrive bundle. But we still don't know what that Lightspeed bundle is doing.
Yeah, the Lightspeed bundle, we still don't know what that is or what's going to be contained in it. And you got to remember that. I mean, the question obviously, do you plan to repeat offers? The question is at CG. Do you plan to repeat it? I said when they first brought it in, I don't think that it was a CG thing. I think that was an EA thing. I don't think that was a CG decision. I think that was an EA decision. So whether or not whether CG plan to bring a repeat offer or something like the hyperdrive bundling, I don't think that they do want to plan on doing anything like that at all. But if EA comes down and says, oh, we made so much money from the hyperdrive bundle, we want a hyperdrive bundle version 2.0, then CG are going to have to do what they're told. So I don't think I would agree with the response and the answer to the question. I don't think that CG want to do anything like the hyperdrive bundle again, but if EA wants to make money, then it's going to happen. Anyway, my last one was the details regarding Gear Crunch, which was another economy question. Are you able to share any details regarding what CG is doing next in order to relieve the tight Gear Crunch? The new assault tiers are much appreciated, and CG Cyanides, we are planning more challenge tiers for assault battles. Outside of the new challenge tiers, we don't have any additional plans to alter the gear economy in the immediate future. So it's a good question, and I like the fact that it was answered. No plans to do anything to the gear crunch, and obviously they're going to be doing the challenge 1 and challenge 2 for all of the assault battles. Most people are going to be able to get gear from tier 1 because the way that it seems to be going is most people can do challenge tier 1, and only some people can do challenge tier 2. Now it's great if it's going to be great once every single assault battle has those extra tiers, because then that's going to be a half a dozen assault battles every single month where people are going to get the bits and pieces, all of those extra gear bits. I still think that that there are certain pieces of gear that stun guns, golden eyeballs, there are still other bits and pieces that need to be addressed, and they're still gear crunchy, especially when you're trying to, go from a relic 5 to a relic 7, because you need some of that purple, that expensive purple gear. So I'm a little bit disappointed that they don't have any additional plans to alter the gear economy in the immediate future, shy of giving us a few extra bits and pieces every 6 times a month on assault battles. So a little bit disappointed in the answer. Glad that we've got an answer though. I'd rather get bad news than not know what the news is.
Okay, so you're going on about that, but I'm sitting here and I'm going, what are you doing with your energy? Why aren't you farming for this gear that you want so bad, instead of just sitting there going, please, sir, may I have some more just delivered to my inbox?
Please, sir, can I have some more?
If you want gear, farm it. It takes at most a week for me to get a full stun gun. And I'm talking golden stun gun. If I go hard after it and I check the currency pages and things like that, if you're end game and you're not getting a stun gun a week, you have a gear problem.
Come on, stun guns is a problem that stun guns is a gear crunch issue for everybody. You know, if there are 3 or 4 characters that need a piece, that's fine, you know. But when you've got like 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 characters and they all need the same bit, you know, that's a gear crunch. You know, that is a gear crunch.
Hang on here, Neil. So, I want to make sure I put this right. Michael H19 in the chat says, because we're still farming shards. Okay. How many refreshes are you doing on those shards? Because there's still plenty of time and there's still plenty of resources to put in. You're not doing 600 energy a day on a 16 shard per attempt character if you're refreshing it 5 times. You should be focused farming 1 character and gear per day, in my opinion. So how do you solve some people your shard problem? That's my answer. He asks in return.
Yeah. Some people just have that. Some people it's just it is and will always be a gear crunch.
The game is a gear crunch. I would love for my General Hux to be gear 13 right now, but I still got to go after his shards. Ooh, look out. The whale is going after shards. And there's still, I haven't spent money on crystal characters until they do something about light side territory battles. That's just the point. I'm keeping true to my word. So, you know, shards are not the long. Michael says that I focus on shards because that's the longer farm. I've got everything 7-star except for Finn, Poe, Sith Trooper, and Hux. I have everything 7-star except for that and the capital ships. That being said, gear is the longer farm. You will always farm gear because you then take that gear and turn it into relic material. So, you know, Dagger says that 99.9% of people don't have their roster 7-star like you. I've been playing since the beginning, Dagger. So, you know, I don't know what to tell you. I focused on getting characters to 7-star because I'm a territory battle person. I don't know how else to explain it. I may be out of touch on that. Okay, but if you're building certain teams, then you're building certain teams.
No, I'm not saying that your argument isn't legitimate. You're making a perfectly legitimate argument from your point of view, from your perspective. It's just that the number of people within the community that share the same game perspective as you from the situation that you're in, and that there are fewer people in the same situation game-wise as you, and there are more people in the game situation that are with me that view a gear crunch in a more negative light than you do, because our accounts are in different positions, right? Your account is in a completely different position to my account because I still have characters that I need to, farm for shards. So I can't stop farming for those characters' shards and just farm for gear like you can.
Okay, you're getting all these pieces. You truly are getting all these pieces through all these different challenges. You get pieces while you're farming characters as well. Yeah, the drop rates when you're looking at a specific item suck. I don't like having to gear. I don't like having.
We got disconnected and we're being reconnected. Hang on. We've been reconnected.
Okay, so we disconnected for a second. I apologize. We're back. I don't like going after all those.
It's the response from two of the guys at CG. We're going to cover that in segment 2.
We are, but how often do you hear feature requests that you've not already thought out? One of the things that they said, and this is where CG Viking finally said the words that I've been asking them to say in a QA for so long. We hear you. Please know your voice is heard. Guys, they finally said it. That actually makes me happy, Neil. How would you define new content? We finally got something to define new content, and as we move through 2020, we're actively working on systems to aid in the authoring of interesting and new quote-unquote content. These systems take time to build, but are expected to yield a fresh new content landscape. As they repeated what they said. I know, hold on, it's coming, can be cold comfort. We hear you, we're working on it, and we think you'll like the results. I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to wait. I might have other things that occupy my time. I will devote my time to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes so I can talk it with you. But there's other things that bide our time that, will they deliver on the promise? We will see. Will there be any more new PvE content? They said it's coming. And the mass assist question. Two more, and then we'll get to yours.
I'm done, mate.
The mass assist question. Clash tested the whole placing the Geonosian team in a certain position, and it turned out the exact same. There is no mass assist. It's only on the damage dealt to them that it's done on.
Oh, thank you very much, Clash.
Yeah. And then finally, can we get a territory battle review period similar to how we get a review period for territory wars? Bodhi, my friend, do you even territory battle officer, bro? He wants this so he can go back and look at the things, but honestly, the damage is done. It would be nice to get a review for 24 hours just of the stats. That'd be great. You can get the history, but the one thing that I want for a quality of life is to be able to see who's done it so I can go in and go, oh, look, flip. Dagger hasn't done his TB combat missions yet. And so I can go message Dagger instead of begging the entire damn community, the whole guild, saying, who hasn't done their combat missions? I see such and such people at less than 4. That's all you can do as a territory battle officer until we get an actual list. Anyway, Neil?
Yes.
They'd like to know why you as a group ignore what's generally the community's biggest issues in your Q&As. And I'd like to know why those questions are being ignored or brushed off. These Q&As are becoming more of a self-promotion than anything. Tackle the hard stuff first. Worry about the fluffy art later. I can't believe they put that in.
Yeah, I liked it's Crumb's answer that I like more. I mean, CG Viking responded, yeah, sure. But I've got them in front of me. Do you want me to read the responses to that question?
I mean, read the important, read the really pertinent parts.
Okay,
and,
so the SB Crumb one is definitely the most pertinent part.
Go
so
ahead.
SB Crumb's response to this was that he tries to surface the hottest community topics to the team, but sometimes we can't answer all, as Viking elaborated on above. So Viking said that they can't answer all questions. That said, they don't think that he doesn't think that the current format is the best way to do these Q&As. And that's Crumb. So Crumb is Crumb is basically in agreement with every single content creator out there that he doesn't think that the current format that they do the Q&A is the best way to do it. The live Q&A can be hard to follow, and there's no way to find new responses other than scrolling through the categories. So he is very open to feedback on how they do the Q&A in the future. So now is the time to be hitting Crumb with, it doesn't matter, Reddit posts, it doesn't matter how we do it. Make them articulate, don't make them nasty, be diplomatic with your language, and offer constructive ideas on how they can make the Q&A better, okay? Simply saying, oh, it's crap, do better, it's not a response. It's not something that they're going to even look at or respond to. We make pertinent, constructive, critical ideas, and we present them in however we can, and then hopefully at least SB Crumb is going to look at them. I have a couple of ideas myself, you
wrote a question.
I did actually write. Well, I mean, I wrote a question, but I didn't think that they were answered. Basically, my question was the art. The art is so awesome and so brilliant. That it should get its own forum post. Please give art its own forum post.
Well, you had something else in addition to that question. We will get to the rest of Nev's question that he posted.
No, that was it.
Also, what?
That was it. It was just about the art. That was my question was about art and separating it off because it's so awesome.
No, you had more. Don't lie.
Yeah, no, I had more to talk about, but it wasn't a question. It wasn't regarding the Q&A. It was regarding something else.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get to that coming up in our second segment. We're a little late getting to the break, but stand by. Much more to come right here on the Escape Podcast.
The Escape Pod Cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans and more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord at all lowercase Micaeus number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at micaeusmods@gmail.com. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod Cast.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Ware could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/The Escape Pod to sign up.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and I approve this message and am compensated for signups for this service.
The world's largest audiobook library is at your fingertips, and the Escape Pod Castaways wants you to try it for free. Head on over to escapepodcastaways.com and click the Going Nerdy offer button to claim a free audiobook and 2 Audible originals. Cancel anytime, and it's absolutely free to sign up. Check out Audible and support the Escape Pod Castaways. All for free. See Audible website for details. Restrictions may apply.
Hello everyone, this is Scotty McLaren as we go around the tube for this week. And this week was a very interesting week when it came to our content creators. I'll tell you why. Because everyone this week had no GAC to do, so people started to speculate as to what's going on within the game for 2020 and what are these galactic heroes really going to be starting to mean. The likes of Galactic Hero Rey and Galactic Hero Kylo Ren. A lot of people were speculating about the fact that there was a new data mine which has been released where perhaps Rose Tico needs to go to Relic 5.
A lot of people started to go into disarray about that, saying that we've got trash characters, why would we do that, and things like this. Some people are actually doing it right now. But I think that it was Mobile Gamer and also Cubs fan Han that hit the nail on the head. If you're someone that's looking at these characters saying, why oh why am I having to do these characters like Resistance Pilot, Scavenger Ray, and the rest of them, and you're thinking about doing it, but you've also got other side projects that you're working on, Mobile Gamer hits the nails on the head right here.
Here's the truth, though. You and I, if we took and upgraded all the Galactic Legend requirements to what they need to be, we would be doing ourselves a disservice in our next Grand Arena.
Yeah.
That is the truth.
Well, Urzatron's a great example of that,
yes,
right?
Yes, I know.
Because Urza, bless his heart,
actually, yeah.
I mean, he's farmed with his heart, right?
Correct.
Farmed for characters,
Correct.
farmed for memes,
Correct.
farmed for that kind of thing. And now he's in a position where it works against him in the matchmaking.
So if you're matched against my 7 Relic Malik and my 7 Relic Nest versus your 7 Relic Rose Tico or your 7 Relic Scavenger Ray, who's gonna win?
They're all toys. Trash.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just because it's got the way the power levels work out, and if you're going pound for pound, you're not getting a lot of value out of any of these galactic.
No. That's the trash. These are your friends.
Trash. But the question also becomes, so for right now, if that's what you're doing right now, somebody who's not going for Galactic Legends has an advantage, pound for pound, in Grand Arena.
Yeah.
But what are the Galactic Legends going to be able to do? What are they going to do to those characters? I mean, what if Rose Tico ends up being absolutely bananas OP under Galactic Legend Ray?
Trash.
Elsewhere, the finalizer kit has arrived, and it looks like we're going to be saying bye-bye to our Admiral Akbar and also Houndstooth and Millennium Falcon teams, according to Cubs fan Han and also Mobile Gamer.
Wow.
Because he's not going to have that ability on
I really want to know the speed on this,
Yeah,
too.
well, he's going to go first. If there's enough first order, he's going to go first.
Yeah.
And it's going to be and the Falcon's going to be targetable.
Yeah.
And Bosk is not going to be.
This feels like a better ship.
Yeah, and so Houndstooth is not going to be taunting yet. So you're going to be able to apply Hunted on the Falcon, which means the Falcon. Yeah, this is Rip Akbar right here.
Rip Akbar.
Yeah. Okay.
This is going to be a great Territory Wars and Grand Arena ship.
Well,
offense.
Finally.
Yeah.
I mean, if they continue giving us ships without pilots, I think people can get interested. If I had enough teams to have fun with it,
yeah.
Let's do it. Looks like it's bye-bye Akbar and hello to Negotiator, because it looks like it's going to be able to counter just about everything. Meanwhile, over in your Arena Shard, if you're topping that with gas at the moment, well, be very careful, because It's Just Ian actually found a counter for this squad earlier this week where it contains Nihilus.
Yeah, Z-Watt with pretty much the opening move, you get that tank tech on Boss,
right?
Permanent taunt for the rest of the battle. And then the weapon tech on Nihilus for every single time a clone here or Anakin goes, he's getting 15% turn meter, which is huge. The third piece doesn't matter too much in this one. That's like just give it to Han pretty much, because if you do get Rex-lated by Rex, of course.
I love that term.
Dude, it is so hot.
It sounds dirty, like Rexalate. It sounds disrespectful. But anyway, go on.
But you wanna kind of, for that third piece, give it to Han, just because if he does die to that Annihilate, you can give that extra tank tech to your Throns, just so you can Annihilate. Boom! See that?
Did you edit that in?
I did.
That edit was cracking me up earlier today.
He specifically told me, if you're going to show this, you have to edit. Every Annihilate that guy in.
You've been Nihilus-lated. That's what's going to be happening in the Arena Shard. Darth Microtransactions decided to come out of retirement and come back and play the game of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Here's why.
One, I don't think I was wrong when I left the game. I don't believe, maybe that's some pride, sure, but I don't believe when I said the game is dying, I was wrong, because I do think it's dying. I do think that maybe I was a little hasty. I would say I was probably wrong on Relics. I think Relics, I thought, was going to neuter the game a lot quicker than it did, and it seemed like most people seem to be okay with Relics now that kind of, once that's settled, people are kind of okay with it. So maybe I missed the guess on that one. To be honest, I think we're all kind of on the same page at that point with Relic.
You're not wrong there, Darth Microtransaction. That's why I left the game initially as well. But meanwhile, Mick Mole also decided to stay, exactly why he came back to the game as well, because, let's be honest, there's so many games out there that are kind of like a rip-off of this particular game, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
Yeah, Summoner's War, I think, was the original, hero collector game. And yeah, it's just kind of, it's interesting, you see all these different games try out these modes, and then you start to kind of realize, and as you're looking at them, you're like, how many original ideas can you come up with in a mobile game? At some point, you kind of run out of new ideas, and that's something I started to notice was, it's not so much who has the original content or new kind of types of content, it's who can do it the best.
And well, Urzatron has released an awesome video of the top 5 characters of why are they in this game. You've got to go over and have a look at it because it is a hilarious take on some of the characters like Colonel Stark and Mob Enforcer, which are inside of this game. Take a listen to Urz.
Why are these guys in my game when there are so many other good characters that we could be having right now on those holotables? Come on, CG. We love your game. Let's get some new love in there. Let's breathe some new life in there. Get some of these fun, fan-favorite characters back in action.
So all in all, there's some pretty good content out there to go and check out for this week. That wraps us up with what's going on around the tube for this week. You're on the Escape Podcast. Hey, look, it's a little bit of birthday cake left over from Paul Anthony's birthday. Happy birthday, Paul. I hope he doesn't mind if I have a little bit of it. That's quite beautiful. What's this? A birthday present from Heinzie?
The death of that Scotty clone will be on your hands, you jackasses.
The Escape Pod Cast.
And welcome back to segment 2 of the Escape Pod Cast. How you feeling, Paul? That was a pretty rambunctious first segment, was it not?
Yeah, it was, and I have a feeling that we're not done spitting venom, as some people have said.
Spitting venom?
Spitting venom.
Spitting venom. How is what we do spitting venom? Because as far as I can tell, we have always been constructive in our criticism.
We're constructive in it, but because we're a long form, instead of doing 10-minute segments, we can hash out our thoughts instead of just giving you sound clips.
Yeah. Well, we're not just, one soundbite after another soundbite after another soundbite. It's long form, isn't it?
Yeah. But somebody had said to me, that's why CG doesn't talk to you anymore. But you became privy to some interesting information, didn't you, Neil?
Well, I mean, it's not that I became. I mean, it's common knowledge. It is common knowledge. What happened recently, and I'm happy it happened. The Galactic War Report quit. Sean had some legitimate concerns and issues with the game, and he was stepping down, and the Galactic War Report was going to be no more. Which was a shame, because there are some fans of the Galactic. It's always sad when a content creator stops creating content and leaves the game because they feel the game is in a state that they can't continue along with, and that's what happened. But lo and behold.
Correct. And it was, his goodbye was touching. We talked about it in the last segment that week when he made that announcement.
Mm-hmm.
And we thanked them. I am very happy that Galactic War Report is back. The more people creating content, the more chances for platforms, and that's what you want to touch on.
Yes. Well, this is the kind of this is where it kind of it grinded my gears a little bit, and I do think it's a legitimate grinding of gears, because as much as I'm really, really thrilled that Sean is back and the Galactic War Report is back, it's the manner with which they came back. CG Top Hat reached out to Sean personally. Now, the reason why that kind of grinds my gears a little bit is because it kind of confirms that there is a little bit of favoritism going there. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing, content providers, game providers, they have their favorites. They've always got their favorites, and I get that. But my issue is, sorry,
and we're happy for
yeah,
them.
I'm more than happy about that. What concerns me, and call it lack of professional courtesy, call it what you want. Last year, a lot of people quit the game, and earlier at the beginning of this year, a lot of people quit the game. People like Warrior. Warrior Presents, someone who has spent literally tens of thousands of dollars in this game, provided hundreds, if not thousands of hours of content. And when he left and he had his heartfelt left, he did not get a personal call from CG saying, hey, look, please don't go. We value you as a content creator. We value the content that you provide to the community. It would be a shame for the community to leave you. Is there anything that we can do to stop you from going? And it's not just Warrior. There are lots of other people. Missed. Darth Micro, obviously Darth Micro's back. I was about to say Thunderwhack, but Thunderwhack is also back. But there's a plethora of content creators that left for various different reasons, and they didn't get a call from CG saying, hey, look, we appreciate what you do for the community as a content creator. Please don't go. Is there anything that we can do to help you out? They did that for the Galactic War Report, and I just find it unprofessional.
On CG's part.
On CG's part, not on Galactic. I'm not casting any aspersions towards Galactic War Report. This is an issue. This is me taking an issue with CG doing this. And I'm not saying that every tiny little small, medium, or large content creator, every time they leave, that they have to be begged back by CG, but when people I suppose it's the Warrior Presents channel. That was the one that got to me the most because of the circumstances with which he left. And I just think, especially with what was said in the QA by CG Crumb regarding the QA and the format with the QA and him not liking it, and I'm sure that there are others within CG that don't like it, this is the perfect opportunity. Change it up. You've got so many different categories. Divvy up the categories with content creators. Do a live stream with a content creator that wants to talk about the art. Do a live stream Q&A with a content creator that wants to talk about the mechanics. Like a theory crafter, like It's Just Ian. When it comes to quality of life, all of the various different categories that you can talk about, you can divvy them up. You can speak to the individual content creators, and you can give the community some absolutely awesome content through the community of content creators that we've got. So that grinded my gears. That's my suggestion to CG. That's my shout out to SB Crumb. And just, if you are listening, then, throw us a freaking bone, man, and, get in touch and say, yeah, all right.
We would, if I could, quote unquote, toot our horn for a moment, we would be the quality of life people, because we try to appeal to the entire community as a whole, as a community.
I think it would be more pertinent to do a couple, because there's so many subjects. You've got so many. I would say, some art, they like doing the art, wants to get the CG art guys talking to someone that really, really likes to do the art. I think that's a really, really good idea. But you've got general art, economy, content, tech and game mechanics. So I would go with, stick with, they should stick with what they know. Give the general stuff to the Galactic War Report, Somebody out there is going to want the art. Somebody out there is going to want the economy. Someone's going to want the content. You say you want the content, which is the QOL, and then the theory crafters out there, they're going to want the tech and the game mechanics. And have your specialist guys set some time to one side and have a live stream. You've got the laptops. Most content creators have got Zoom, so it's no skin off our nose to set up these live streams, and
we pay for it.
All you have to do regarding a live stream Q&A is just give us the questions. People put questions on those survey monkeys, right? Just give us the questions and we'll choose what questions to ask you. And we'll do it off those survey monkey ones. And that way, at least the community knows that the content, the questions that we're asking you are from the community, from those survey monkey questions.
You know what, Neil? People hate when we agree too much, but I agree.
Yes. Well, every now and then we have those, those purple moments where we all agree.
But, guys, if you want these things to happen, listeners, Padawans, YouTube viewers, if you guys want these things to happen, reach out and tell them, write them a letter in that survey monkey thing. Crumb, you talked about this. We would love to see you take It's Just Ian and talk about theory crafting. We'd love you to go on McMull to talk about clone art.
Yeah. I think stuff like that would be. I mean, if there's an angle to it, if there's an angle to the art questions, like McMull asking about the art for past, present, and future Clone Wars era stuff, then people will watch it. People will tune in for it. The people that really want it will tune in for it.
And here's the one thing that if you decide to do this, all that I personally ask is if you reveal Hondo, do it on Going Nerdy's channel.
Yeah. Thaddeus would love that.
That's all I want.
Yeah, Thaddeus would love that.
We really can't. And Hellenic says if you want to help make changes, do it with your wallet. We try, but there's too much pride in the Team Instinct and the Mighty Wallet communities that are all about, I have to have the latest and greatest Veruca salt. I want a golden goose, Daddy. I want it now.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Ooh, piece of candy.
Ooh, piece of candy.
It's all. They aren't on Discord, they're not watching these shows. They're not listening to these podcasts, and it's a shame that they're in their own echo chamber with CG, mind you. They are the ones that need to join the plebes, the community here. The whales did it like Kyle's saying in chat, the whales did it in Marvel Strike Force, and we'll get to that. Anyway,
let's get to the new. Let's get to the new stuff.
Yeah. So we had the whole removal. Go ahead and bring up that screen. Do you have the website pulled up?
Yeah. I can switch to that one, mate.
Yeah, switch over to that one. We had light side or not light side. We had veteran smuggler Han and veteran smuggler Chewie both undergo the knife on their specials and uniques.
Yes, I've got that up on screen now, mate.
And because I removed all the formatting here, I don't have the strikeouts. Can you give me what they removed?
Yeah, sure. So, the new text on veteran smuggler Han Solo Obviously, the new tag is the Resistance, and his special Can I Try That? The final text is deal physical damage to all enemies, stun the primary target for 1 turn, and inflict ability block on all enemies for 1 turn. So they've struck out it's with an 80% chance to inflict. And it's now,
so now it's going to
it's a 100% chance you are going to inflict ability block on the enemy for 1 turn.
That's nice.
And the unique has changed from partner in crime to resistance rapport. And the final text on that is nothing struck through, but they have added something. So Han has plus 25% critical chance and plus 50% health steal when veteran smuggler Chewbacca or a resistance ally in the leader shot take damage. Han gains 20% critical damage stacking until he scores a critical hit. When veteran smuggler Chewie or a resistance ally in the leader slot is defeated, Han gains a 100% turn meter, his cooldowns are reset, and he takes an additional turn after his next turn. Max 1 bonus turn. That's pretty... Okay, now for low gear, that's not amazing. But if you had, like most people are going to have to do, if they want the GL, if they want the GL Kylo Ren, a Gear 13 Relict Han with that is going to do some quite heavy damage.
So real quick, I want to give a shout out to Bodhi. We've come up with new names for, how they haven't really released the names for Galactic Legend Rey and Galactic Legend Kylo, right?
Right.
So we believe that it's going to be Pei Rey and Palo Ren. So shout out to Bodhi for those jokes and his guildmate Howling Ewoks. We love you.
So the veteran smuggler Chewbacca changes to his kit, pretty much the same as his Viagra twin Han. So obviously his basic explosive bolts deal physical damage to target enemy and inflict daze for 2 turns. So that 80% chance to inflict it is removed. It will inflict daze for 2 turns. And obviously his unique partner in crime has changed for resistance rapport. And it's pretty much the same as Han. 25% critical chance, 50% health steal when veteran smuggler Han Solo or a resistance ally in the leadership slot takes damage. Chewbacca gains 20% critical damage stacking until he scores a critical hit. When veteran smuggler Han Solo or a resistance ally in the leader shot is defeated, Chewie gains a 100% turn meter, his cooldowns are reset, and he takes an additional turn after his next turn, max 1 bonus. So they're both exactly the same, but instead of an 80% chance to inflict what they will inflict with their basic, it's now going to inflict it. And the changes to the resistance rapport are going to make them really quite useful at a high gear, high relic position. I think the theory crafters are going to have to do their magic.
Yeah. All right. So we got the finalizer. It certainly looks like a Houndstooth and Millennium Falcon killer.
Does it?
It does with how it can go first to get in front of the Houndstooth and stun it, which then you can just go to town on it because it no longer has protection and there's nobody that's breached on the battlefield.
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that if this ship goes, if this ship goes first, it really is, bye Akbar, bye.
And it does.
Bye Millennium Falcon.
It has the highest speed in the game when you start it with all pimped out
Hux.
When you have pimped out Hux and when you have pimped out first order ships starting with it, it will go first.
Yeah,
and its ultimate, which let me find the ultimate here. No, I didn't print out the ultimate. Its ultimates, you can use it right away, and when you use it in the lead up events, it's pretty damn powerful, Neil.
Well, I mean, I've got the post up in front of me. Can you? I mean, what's it called?
The ultimate.
Yeah.
Well, you have to click the kit reveal up at the top.
Okay, I'm clicking on the kit reveal. Okay, so Special 1, Special 2, Special 3, Ultimate, Extinguish Hope, and it's got a cooldown of 3.
But it starts off of cooldown. It doesn't start on cooldown.
Oh, right, okay.
So go ahead, read that.
That's going to be good. Oh my goodness, that is going to be good. Yeah. Oh my God, that is going to be really.
Do you want to
good.
read? Do you want to read it for the people that?
Okay, yeah, sure. So the Special 3 Ultimate Extinguish Hope for those of you out there in podcast land. Final text: all hunted enemies lose 35% turn meter, and the target enemy becomes hunted until they are defeated, which can't be copied, dispelled, prevented, or resisted. Then you deal physical damage to the target enemy. So, if all of that wasn't enough, then you deal some physical damage. Right, first order allies gain defense, penetration, and offense up for 2 turns. TIE Silence is going to love that. And this ability can't be evaded and is available for use at the start of battle. Hunted deals 75% less damage with out-of-turn attacks and can't gain bonus turn meter. Wow.
So they can't gain bonus turn meter. It's not calling. You can't call assists. Yeah, exactly, Neil. It's
okay. You know what? What they're doing here. What they're doing here kind of makes sense. What CG are doing with this ship kind of makes sense now. Because the first order that you have to. The first order that they're making people take to Gear 13 and Relic have ships. They have ships. So, yeah. The unintended consequence of having to do all of that for your galactic legend, Kylo Ren, is you're going to have awesome crew for ships that now have an absolutely awesome capital ship. Because that's just that. I mean, think about it. Your Kylo Ren is going to be relicked. Your Phasma's going to be relicked. Your Special Forces TIE Fighter pilot is going to be relicked. Just not. Yeah. So wow. Yeah. This is going to be a really, really, really good offensive squad. Really, really good offensive squad.
We have one more round. We have one more round of characters coming to be revealed to be relicked. I would be surprised if Hux is not in there.
Oh, Hux is definitely going to be in there. Hux will be in there. Hux will definitely be in there. I mean, with regards to the Rey one, they've put Finn in there, the new Finn in there, haven't they? So why wouldn't they put Hux in there? Even though he, spoiler alert, wasn't in the movie for that long.
Yep. So they fixed a bunch of stuff. They released a bunch of packs and all that for finalizer for the dolphins and the whales to go after. I wouldn't recommend them if you're a minnow. Those ship packs are not what you need right now. If you're gonna purchase anything, if you are a minnow, then I certainly recommend going after maybe the Hux pack, because it is a pretty good pack to get you started on Hux. If you're free to play, you don't buy anything anyway, so don't worry about it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't buy nothing.
Yeah, we're 15 minutes. We're 15 minutes over. We need to get to AndyBeadz. So what do you say we go to a break? On the other side of the break, we bring him on in.
I don't see why not. Be rude not to.
All right. Guys, we'll be right back after these words here and story time with the llama on the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Hey there, Escape Podawans. Everyone's favorite llama here to remind you that the Escape Pod cast is on social media. That's right, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. So give us a like, Give us a follow and stay up to date on all things in-game and in the Escape Pod. Our account links are down in the description or on our Discord server in the Show Links channel. See you on the net!
Heinzie from the ANZGC is officially a member of the Escape Pod Castaways. Make sure you go and search for Heinzie on YouTube today because he live streams a lot of his GAC content, and not only does he do that, he also does some pretty fun videos from time to time, including a behind the screen and also streaming Jedi Fallen Order. And from time to time, this idiot might drop by. Head on over and check out Heinzie today on YouTube, a part of the Escape Pod Castaways network.
The Escape Pod, cast for kids. It's really cool.
Hello and welcome back, Escape Padawans, to Storytime with the Llama and the Escape Pod cast for kids. This week's holo table is a big one. It's the Squad Arena table. I'll take you through the ins and outs, give you some information about what a shard is, and along the way I'll give you some helpful tips so you can master this table. Now, when you open up the Squad Arena, it starts on the Matches tab. This is where you can choose an opponent to battle and raise your arena rank. You'll see their name, guild, rank, and squad makeup. You can battle in the arena 5 times a day, and each battle has a 10-minute cooldown until you can go again. If you don't really feel like waiting the 10 minutes, you can always refresh the cooldown with 50 crystals. Now, when you're looking at the Matches tab, it's really important, and I highly suggest to actually click into your opponent's characters in their squad and see what their mods are, where their different moves are at. This way you can get a better feel for the strength and makeup of the team, so you can make sure that you match up appropriately. Now, your opponent's gear level might be lower than your team, but their mods might be better, their tunes might be faster, so it'll actually be a more difficult battle than what you were originally anticipating. The next tab is the Ranks tab. This is where you can see the top 50 players in your arena shard. At first glance, it'll show you their name, guild, rank, and the leader of their arena squad. If you want to get a closer look, you can actually tap on them and look at their full arena squad, their arena fleet, their grand arena record, plus other basic stats and profile information. The third tab is the Prize tab. This is where you can see the prizes earned for each rank in the arena. The higher your rank, the better your prizes are. A huge aspect to the prizes in Squad Arena is that you can actually earn crystals based on your arena rank. This is huge for free-to-play players, because crystals can get you more energy and node refreshes to help you farm your character shards. This tab also shows you the countdown to when your payout will happen. That's where you get the prizes for your current rank. You'll want to make your rank climb as close to your payout as you can to lessen the chance of someone swooping in and knocking you back just before you get paid. Now, in addition to crystals and credits, your rank will actually also earn you Squad Arena tokens. And that's where this last tab comes into play. It's called Redeem, and it takes you directly into the Squad Arena store where you can spend your tokens on character shards, credits, as well as capital ship prestige tokens to help gear up your capital ships. Now, this store is home to the crew for your 3 original capital ships, Mace Windu, Admiral Akbar, and Moff Tarkin. I suggest getting those 3 up to 7 stars as soon as you can, so you can get those capital ships nice and strong to help your fleet arena. Now, before we finish up with this story, I want to take a minute to talk about exactly what an arena shard is. You'll hear that word thrown around a lot for both squad and fleet arena. A shard is basically just a term used for the group of players that are in the same arena as you. There are millions of accounts that play this game, and if we were all competing against each other in one big pool, it would feel impossible for new players to try and make their way to the top. Instead, the accounts are broken down into groups of 20,000 accounts that all start right around the same time. This helps the arena stay competitive because theoretically all of the players are around the same strength. You'll always have whales and krakens that'll progress faster because they put more money into the game, and it'll make it a little bit more difficult for those free-to-play players. but for the most part, the squad arena will be around the same spot in the game. That's all for me this week. Tune in next week for more story time with the Llama and the Escape Pod Cast for Kids.
Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans, and more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord at all lowercase Micaeus number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at micaeusmods@gmail.com. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod Cast.
The Escape Pod Cast now offers our faithful listeners a way to show their support via merchandise. Declare your allegiance to Team Paul or Team Neil with official shirts. Get a story time with the llama button or magnet. Or just represent the show by getting an official logo hoodie. There are now even Team Scotty and Team Heinzie options available too. Become an official Padawan today. Check out the merch at escapepodcastaways.com.
Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission. Receiving incoming transmission.
And welcome back to this week's incoming transmission, ladies and gentlemen. We have a very, very special guest. He's a Twitch streamer, but I'm not going to do the introductions because the master of ceremonies is right there, and he'll get a little bit miffed if I steal his thunder. So, Paul, take it away.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, our guest this week is a rare but entertaining Twitch find. He is 100% free to play, but he hits like a whale. He is a loving father of two and a husband, and we talked to his wife, and we talked her into letting us sit down with him for about a half an hour for this week. And, you know, guys, he's as crafty as Neil. He's as passionate about weird teams as I am. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. He's slicked his hair back to be like Neil, Mr. AndyBeadz. Hello, Andy.
Hello, how's it going tonight, fellas?
Going very, very well. No crying. Andy, no crying. We will not be filling up his free-to-play tears mug. His cup must not runneth over tonight.
Yes. Let me listen to you complain.
No more tears for you.
No complaining over here. I'm okay. I'm all right.
No, but Andy, thank you so much. You know, I kind of gave away the first question. I always ask our guests who come on the show, do you classify yourself as free to play, a minnow, a goldfish? How free to play are you? Can you lay claim to the V card that is free to play?
100%. 100% free to play. Yeah.
Good on you.
Nothing.
Same here, mate.
No credit card.
We are
no
a
plastic,
very rare
no
breed.
nothing. Yeah. 100%.
No gift cards have ever.
No gift cards. Nope. Never. Nope.
We must compare original accounts sometime.
Yeah. Well, the only thing is with my account, like I didn't start when the game came out, so I was like a year after. So
it's probably still better than mine. It's probably still better than the one that I have on my phone.
But I mean, you're achieving great ranks. You're doing so very well in what you do. You're a great follow. You're entertaining as all get out.
Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
And I'm just amazed that you've done this with free to play. What do you have the highest on your pedestal what do you like to flash when people say, "Are you really free to play? How did you get this?" What are people complaining that you have while you're free to play?
I mean, I don't have like anything crazy. Like I didn't really go after certain things when they came out. I sort of followed my own beaten path in the beginning, like a lot of us do. We really don't have a straightforward path of what we're doing. So, I just followed, what I liked, what I wanted to do. And I have a pretty decent bounty hunter team. I love my Night Sisters. You take a look at my Night Sister team. I relic 3 of them already. CLS. I don't have JTR. I don't have 3PO. I don't have Malik. I do have my Jedi Knight Revan. So that's one thing I'm proud of. Got him. So that's something I wanted. But yeah, there's nothing really like.
Are you happy?
Yeah, I'm 100% happy with how I'm playing. Like all the stuff that comes out, I'm not too worried about it because I know at some point down the road I'll eventually get it. I'm not going to focus on what comes out every month or whatever comes out every month or 2 months or whatever. Like I just, I stay focused on what I want to do, and so it's just
what I'm hearing, Neil, is that somebody is enjoying Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, but they're not spending, and they don't have to have the latest and greatest thing.
Yeah, you're talking about me again, mate. You're supposed to be talking about Andy.
I am talking about Andy.
We're the same.
Oh, right, sorry. It's just that, you just listed off a bunch of things that, is me. That's all. I thought you were talking about me when you should have been talking about Andy.
He got confused with the hair.
It must have been the hair. He's getting confused. I'm all of those things. Just because I criticize various different aspects of the game doesn't mean I'm not every single one of those things and 100% virginal free to play, having never spent a single dime on this game. I've always said that when it comes to the money and the buying things, I don't, I don't have a thingy, I don't have a fight in it because I don't pay. But when we were talking about the Galactic Legends, I told you I don't care. It's not something I'm ever going to have, so I don't care. I'll spend the next 2 years doing all my Rebels so that when they bring out Galactic Legends Luke Skywalker, I can at least have him.
Yeah, as long as they space it out long enough,
Yeah. Where are you on that with regarding Galactic Legends? Are you going to like me? Or are you just thinking, free to play, not going to bother with it?
I don't think it's not that I don't care. Like, it's not that I don't care. Like, it's just not something I'm going to focus on at the moment. Like, I have other plans with what I want to do. Like, I know at some point it's going to get a little tougher as I go up in the ranks in my GP, whatever's for Grand Arena is kind of what I like, building teams for and whatever it is. So as soon as, I'm going to start hitting, Revan team or Darth Revan teams, Malik teams soon. It could become an issue, but I mean, it's not going to ruin the experience for me. I'm still going to truck along like, the free to play player I am, and just going to try to have as much fun as I can. And
what division you in, mate?
I just hit Division 4.
See, that's not bad. That's not bad. I'm knocking on Division 4's door with my Pom-Pomtastic account. But like you, it's free to play, and I'm just going for what I fancy going for on that account. I'm not even hardcore farming for, I'm not even going for Malik. It's like, nah, sod Malik. I want to finish my triumvirate. So that's what I'm doing.
Yep.
So what have you got cooking at the moment? You mentioned your Night Sisters. Mm-hmm. And that you've got 3 of them relict. Are your plans afoot to finish your Night Sisters? Because taking all of your Night Sisters to Gear 13 and relicking them, that's really, really going to inflate the top end of your roster, and it's not going to be very favourable for you with matchmaking in GAC. Is that?
Right. I do want to keep pushing to, for my Night Sisters, but I am working on other teams. I was just recently on RSG's lunch hour special where they did a roster review on my account, and I was sort of at the point where I was like, okay, well, what am I, I just want a different set of eyes, a different set of minds to see what somebody else would think that which way I should go. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so Ranger had suggested that I'd start on, because I don't have, I had Padme at 6 stars. I did unlock her, but I didn't have her at 7 stars. So they had suggested for me to start, maybe start with my Separatists, start slowly farming my Separatists, get some of them up, up there, get them enough where I could get my Padme to 7 stars and then start working on a Padme squad arena team. And so that's kind of what I'm currently working on as a main farm right now, but I'm still trucking along with my Night Sisters as well. Like I always tend to have like one, like right now I'm having one that I'm trying to relic, try to do that on the side and then just continue to work on my Separatist team right now. As well with, I'd like to get C-3PO at some point too with the Ewoks, which is another, another feat, but
yeah, no, I'm right there. To me, the Ewoks, it's a passive. It has been a passive farm since I started the Pom-Pom-tastic account. I have never gone hard. If I see them in the guild, yeah, all right, sod it, 450.
Yeah,
that's it. That's it for me.
It's that low grade, right?
And 5 SIM cards on Wicket. That's it.
Yeah.
Well, I've always said Wicket, 100% go for Wicket, go for Mama Talzin.
Yeah.
Because those get you the Zetas. All you need for them is to be 7-star, because once they hit 7-star, that unlocks and you can use anybody to get those Zetas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you remember, Paul, I got my Mother Talzin live on the show, didn't I? You remember when they did the Christmas thing, and you could buy, you were guaranteed to get a character 330 for, what was it? Was it 2,000 crystals? I can't remember. 1,000?
It was insanely cheap.
It was insanely cheap, wasn't it? It was either 1,000 or 2,000 crystals, and I got
it was 5, but huh? I think it was 5, but compared to guaranteed 7-star.
Yeah, guaranteed 7 stars. Because I did it on my phone one and got Geonosian Soldier, which just annoyed the crap out of me. And then I did it on the Horde account, remember? And I got a Mother Talzin, which is great because every time that event runs now, I get 2 Zetas. It's brilliant. I don't even use her. I just use my Jedi Knight Revan squad, but it's a guaranteed 2 Zetas every single time.
2 guaranteed easy Zetas, every time.
Easy Zetas.
Yeah.
Easy Zetas.
Yep.
So what lead do you go with on your Night Sisters, mate?
Sorry?
What lead do you go with on your Night Sisters?
I tend to use the Mama T. Mama T is my lady, and for the most part, I do sometimes, if I'm going to use my Night Sisters on defense, which I don't usually do, but it just depends on, like, for instance, in Grand Arena, I would sometimes use Ventress for the extra speed, but for the most part, I do like using the Mama T as my main because she's just more sexy.
Yeah, you got a little twinkle in your eye there when you mentioned that.
Yeah, she's my dirty dame, so she's mine.
Guilty pleasure.
My guilty pleasure. That's right.
So I think we already asked this a little bit. What's the exact next step that you do want to take with your account in the future, and what are your long-term goals? Let's just say a year out. What's the next immediate goal, and what's the long-term goal at this time? And is there anything that will shake you from this direction that you're going?
I would say, like, right now I'm working on, like I said, like, Separatist is what I'm working on right now. I do want to get C-3PO as well. So at some point I got to start focusing on Ewoks at I don't know, at some point. I do need to switch focus a little bit on fleet, because I'm one of those guys who kind of put fleet on the back burner and was just like, you know what, fleet's just one of those whatever. And then after a while, you start seeing all these other people, you know, they're at the top of their fleet shard, and they're just getting all these crystals. And I'm like, I don't think this was the right move. Like, why did I not focus on this in the first place? So that's kind of.
I am a fleet guy. I have to fully admit that I am a 100% a fleet guy. I was the first one to unlock the 7-star Grievous in my guild, or 7-star Malevolence.
Yeah,
because I went hard on the Galactic Chases for Vulture Droid and Hyena Bomber. And I have, no regrets. Not even a letter.
And I mean, yeah, it's I'm working on, I'm slowly working on the bounty hunters right now, because I still don't even have Millennium Falcon. I think once I get Millennium Falcon, even though now with the finalizer coming out, is it even like, I don't even know if it's worth it now, but I mean, I probably won't be there for a long time anyways. So, I mean, I'm just going to keep pushing
the people you're facing.
Yeah,
aren't gonna have finalized.
I get it. Yeah. It's just sometimes I'm just like, in the future probably won't, but I won't be there for a long time. So it doesn't really matter anyways. But I'm still pushing. It is a slow farm, as you probably know, but it's coming along. We're almost there, and I focusing on fleet would probably be my biggest thing right now on the account. Would I like to have these Galactic Legends at some point? Probably in 2030, when the game is still around.
That's the way I feel about them.
It's if the game is still running by then, I'll probably eventually get my first Galactic Legend.
The way that I look at it, mate, the divisions that our free-to-play accounts are in, we're never going to come across other people in our division that have these characters.
Yeah. I know.
GL, that these Galactic Legends are going to be 100% solely restricted to Division 1. And I ain't ever getting to Division 1. No. The GP, the GP inflation is going to put every single person that goes for that in Division 1. Because new players ain't going to go for this Galactic. New players coming into the game once they've got the Hyperdrive bundle and they've worked on a few squads, they're not going to spend $2,000 or $3,000 on the characters necessary to get a Rey or a Kylo Ren. They're not. They're just not going to spend that kind of money.
No.
No one new coming into this game is going to spend $2,000 to $3,000 getting those characters. Now, people that already have some of those characters at Gear 12, Gear 13 might invest the several hundred, maybe 1,000 necessary, but no one new having to buy everything from scratch is going to spend 4 digits for 2 characters. Ain't going to happen. In my opinion.
Yeah.
That's how I rationalize it.
I would like to see where the lowest GP Galactic Legend lands, to be honest with you. If anybody spots it in the wild once they're out, if anybody spots a Galactic Legend at Division 3 or lower, show me a picture of Bigfoot.
Yeah.
I'll be
scared. Show me a picture of Bigfoot, and I'll go, clearly there are exceptions to the rule. That is an exception to the rule.
Yeah.
If there's one person with them in Division 3, or 1 or 2 or 3 people, out of the thousands and thousands and thousands that play it, odds are you're probably not going to face them. And anybody that does face them is going to think, crap.
Pretty much, yeah. I'm done.
And Neil,
I hit the reverse lottery.
I'm just going to add this, subject to change.
You're going to add. I didn't hear what you said you were going to add. Then add what?
You had frozen there. I said subject to change.
Subject to exactly subject to change. Subject to change. There are always exceptions to the rule.
Yep.
Always.
So what for the layman that's seeing AndyBeadz for the first time, Andy, tell somebody what they can expect when they catch you on Twitch.
Pretty much, you come into my room, into my channel. I mean, we're pretty laid back in there. I'm not. You're gonna see, it's a fun atmosphere. Like I'm pretty much smiling and laughing the whole time. I could really care less if I win or lose. We're just having a good time. There's a lot of good people that I surround myself with in the channel, in the community. So, just come in, pull up a chair or whatever you're sitting on, throw on some popcorn, and just sit back and watch the bloopers happen, because that's pretty much what it is.
So, is there I mean, do you do a shtick, for those that prefer shtick based streams?
What do you mean?
There's some that like the dance parties at the end. There's some that prefer their streamer to get totally sloshed and put on helmets and pick up gaffy sticks. We love those guys too.
There's none of that. I mean, it's just straight up fun. Like, I just try to put on a, somewhat of a goofy performance, but I mean, it's just me. Like, I'm not trying to be anybody. Like, I'm just trying to just being me on stream, just having a good time. Like, and it's a good way to sort of release it. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, I'm just having fun. Like, I don't know.
That's the way to do it.
It's just,
exactly.
I try to have I have as much fun as I can. Like, I don't try to let anything get to me. And, it's all about just putting it on for the people that come in there. And
wait. It's all what?
It's all for the people.
It sounded like you said a boot. Are you a Canadian streamer, Andy?
Yes, I'm from the Great White North. Yeah,
delete the stream. Delete the stream.
Everybody here who just unsubscribe right now. Yeah. I am from up there. Yes, I live in an igloo and I travel by dog sled and all that jazz. Yeah.
and you call ice hockey.
Yeah, we call it hockey up here, not ice hockey. Yeah,
ice hockey. Even though it is hockey on ice.
It's on ice. Yeah. Yeah.
Neil, don't get me started on the sports thing. You know that I'm a proponent of cricket, but you leave my ice hockey alone.
See,
right?
I'm not gonna touch it because you just referred to it as ice hockey. So I played hockey, but I couldn't play ice hockey.
But it's the National Hockey League.
Well, that's because the people that made the league got lazy because they just didn't want to put an I there. National Ice Hockey League.
I don't think Nile would come off quite well. That's all I'm
Nile
say.
Comes off. Nile's a much cooler acronym than no. No. Nile. No.
Nobody
Nile.
says that, Neil.
Yeah.
Nobody says that.
Nobody says that.
That's sports ball.
Yeah.
Oh man. So what do you got coming up here? I know the next season of GAC is coming up. Do you have any, now that the journey guide's out, do you kind of plan to where you're going to go? And do you have any ideas of saying, hey, we're going to try for Padme this Friday, come on out? Is that something that you do?
Not typically, no. I mean, with a journey guide, it's up for grabs, whatever I'm going at. I mean, we just did. I guess I would say that we're doing 3PO. I guess next would be my but I don't know, broadcast it that we're doing it, I guess. So I'm just, when it happens, there's been times too where I've just been like, I remember with R2, I remember I wasn't even going to stream R2, and then all of a sudden the event popped up, and this was before the Journeys Guide, and I was like, oh my gosh, I actually have the people to do R2 right now, so let's go do them right now. Like it's not like I don't really plan it really. I'm not a good planner apparently.
But Andy, I welcome you. When you showed up in the Discord server for the Escape Podcast, I gave you the 2 roles: content creator and guest.
Yep.
Which means you are more than welcome if you feel it upon yourself that you want to invite everybody to watch you fail miserably at going for Darth Revan.
Yes,
you are more than welcome to post it in our server. Link people to your Discord server at times. There's how do people find Andy? Do you have a Discord? Give them the lowdown if they're listening in their car to the podcast version of the show, and when they're going to pause right now. And then when they get to work, they're going to look you up.
Well, I mean, the best way to find me right now would be obviously on twitch.tv/Andy_Beadz. And that's with a Z on the end, not the S. And we do have a Discord. It is, well, it's a bunch of numbers, but it is the.
Can they find it on your?
Yes, it is. Everything is linked under my in my panels underneath the channel. So I have a Twitter page. I have my the Discord is we call it the 506 Procrastination Battalion. And
why the 506 Procrastination?
Well,
Battalion?
The 506 is the area code where I live, and and it's close. It's really close to the 501st, and Vader's fist and all that stuff, right? Which is my boys. And then the procrastination is kind of it kind of grew from the streams where when we're doing Grand Arena live, I tend to procrastinate about what I'm putting in as an attacking team. So I'll put a team in and then take them down, and then I'll sit there and then I'll talk to my chat and then sit there again. So it would take like 15 minutes to start a match. So that's kind of where the procrastination thing came from.
Neil just jumps right in.
But my fastest GAC stream was 15 minutes. I started. I was like, right, okay, I'm doing this. Win this. Win this. Win this. Win. Oh, brilliant! I'm finished. All right, thanks a lot for watching, everyone. Bye bye.
Yeah.
Your fastest was 6 minutes when you went into my stream one time. You attacked 2 times, and we're like, "You're screwed, Paul."
Yeah. There was that one as well, yeah.
But yeah, I mean that's kind of where the name came from. So that's what I started calling the channel and the Discord channel via request by a few of our viewers and community members. So, which it catches on. It's kind of an oddball name, but it kind of sticks out a little bit. So.
I love it. And kind of in that same vein, anytime that I play Star Wars Legion, the tabletop miniature game,
yep,
all of my Empire, all of my Separatists are painted maize and blue, and I call them the 734th, which is the area code for Ann Arbor, where Michigan resides.
Yep, there you go. So yeah, so that's kind of where. I mean, go to my Twitch channel, and then most of the panels below will link you to the Discord and to Twitter and my Instagram page, which is totally different from my, I guess, Star Wars community, which is sort of my bead business or bead thing that I like doing.
I've got one quick question for you before you go. What sport did David Beckham play?
Football.
Yes, everybody, not soccer. Football.
So for our listeners on the podcast, he is arguing. Neil is arguing in chat with some of the people about usage of the term soccer and football. It all depends on where you're from. Celebrate the love of sport, not the name of it. That's all I'm going to say on that. Andy, do you got anything else before we let you go and get into our fourth segment, my friend?
No, just a big shout out to the 506 Procrastination Battalion. Everybody hanging out in the chat and in the podcast here. I appreciate it. Thanks for coming out, guys. And to you guys, I really appreciate you guys having me on. And
it was a pleasure, mate.
It's been an honor. It's great. I enjoyed my time here, and yeah, that's all I gotta say.
All right. Well, it was certainly great to have you out. Absolutely. Yes. I'm from Ohio, man, so I got a little bit of that Canadian accent going there. So
isn't there like in Minnesota? It's the same thing down there, like.
It
like
pretty much.
The
Minnesota
Canadian
is
part of the
Canada
United States.
Yeah. Just like where I live now, Texas is Mexico Junior. But that's another story for another time. Guys, go check out AndyBeadz' channel. Andy, thank you so much for coming on.
Appreciate
Neil
it. Thank you.
and I, no problem. Neil and I are going to unbox Lego Legacy Heroes Unboxed coming up in the fourth segment. So stick around right here on the Escape Pod cast.
The Escape Pod cast with Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Ware.
Micaeus Modding Mayhem is the premier remodding service for the game that we all love, Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. With some of the most affordable rates in the industry, Micaeus will rebuild your roster from top to bottom and give you consultation on where to go from there. Micaeus has a 100% satisfaction guarantee and lots of useful additional services, including a full cleanup of your mods, loadout pages, PvP plans, and more. Contact Micaeus today on Discord at all lowercase Micaeus number 0127. That's MIKAYAS number 0127, or at micaeusmods@gmail.com. Micaeus Modding Mayhem, the official remodding service of the Escape Pod cast.
Does your guild want to tap into their full potential in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes? Yeah! For as low as $1 a month per guild member, your guild can unleash the power of the game in ways you never thought possible. Ooh. Track your arena movements, guild progression, and much, much more. Contact ShittyBill and get one of his shitty bots on your server today. Just look for him on our Discord server and tag or message him for more information. The link for our server is below in the description. Shitty bots, don't let the name fool you.
Did you know that if you signed up to become a Patreon, you could get tons of rewards? Force Ghost Scotty could do a roster review for you. Neil Andrew Ware could share Grand Arena tactics. Or Paul could even help you get maximum stars in Geonosis Territory Battle. And you even get access into the after show. Sound good? Sign up to be a Patreon today. For as little as $2 a month, you could unlock a ton of potential content and also get closer to the hosts. Head to patreon.com/theescapepod to sign up.
And now time for something completely shameless.
Noob. Where could he be? Noob.
I am here, Lennox. How can I be of service?
Where have you been, Buster? I really gotta look through that self-diagnosis report he did when I get caught up with everything. Always behind schedule. Never mind all that. Newbie, I need to find where you stored those helium detonators we got. These Minox we picked up at the Monolith Burger fly-through we stopped at. Over there near Bimiel in sector MZX 32905. They're doing a number to our hyperdrive. I'm gonna have to don a spacesuit and do some old Minoc puffing, I think.
Are you going to
Kill.
these organics, Lennox?
Well, noob, if I don't get them off the ship, they'll strand us in space. And unlike you, those pesky Minox, and Mary Poppins Leia, I actually need oxygen to breathe. No power, no air. No air, no oxygen. No oxygen, no Hellenics. And we can't have that, can we? Ahem. I said, we can't have that, can we?
Storage shelf 1137T. Hellenics.
Great. As soon as I've cleared those pesky Minox off our ship, and after I get back inside, safely aboard, we can get back to what we do every Friday night, newbie.
Listening to the Escape Pod cast with your hosts, Paul Anthony and Neil Andrew Eyre. Am I right, Hellenics?
That's right, Noob. Wait a second, that's my line. Dumb droid. All right, Noob, I'm off to play Space Exterminator. If you need something to do to keep you busy while you wait, watch my Hellenics Reviews All Star Wars Movies video review on my YouTube channel. #shameless self-promotion. And I'll be back before you know it. I really shouldn't have eaten that jumbo monolith burger with poly cheese. Those space spuds, that chocolate sloppy super shake. Man, tastes great going down. Boy, does it leave me with lots of elevator. Need some space offices. There's a space reference. Lots of space references. Space Quest. Awesome.
Investigation log. Supplemental. Suspect Hellenics clearly shows a capacity to end organic life without hesitation. Evidence mounting, but more evidence is required. Probability of Hellenics being found guilty for the murder of Scotty McLaren increased to 90%. If probability reaches 99%, Hellenics must be destroyed.
The Escape Pod. Cast. The Bridge.
Welcome back. We're in our fourth and final segment. How you feeling, Paul?
I'm feeling great, man. You know, this has been such a great show.
I told you we'd go over 2 hours.
We did. We are gonna cross that threshold. But I really do want to. I really do want to cover this because, you know that I'm a huge AFL. I mean, the shirt, the stuff. My profile on Discord is Benny from the Lego Movie. But I debated this. You know, we've seen content creators go off the rails and all that when it comes to Raid Dragon Raid Shadow Legends. Raid Shadow Legends and Dragon Champions and Marvel Strike Force. There's a good number. I mean, I hear even Iron Maiden has a 5-person fighting game. So
Battle of the Bands or something.
Yeah. But it's all about it's all about IP to me. You know, these games like Dragon Champions, like Raid, can probably be lumped in together. SWGOH stands apart from other games because the IP is recognizable. Am I wrong in saying that?
No. I mean, I would put Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes up there as number 1, and I would put Marvel Strike Force immediately underneath it because it's Marvel, you know, and it's comic book. It's comic books, but obviously not just comic books anymore. It's, you know, you've got animated series and you've got the movies, you've got the MCU. I don't think Marvel Strike Force would be as popular as it is without the MCU, but thankfully we have the MCU, and the last 10 years was really good, made it popular, which is why Marvel Strike Force is there. I mean, if DC ever, put their finger on the pulse and came up with something decent, that would probably get something as well. Because the amount of DC, the DC verse on TV, on WB, exactly the same thing. You know, they're big on the TV shows, not so good on the movies, except Wonder Woman, which is, you know, the exception to the rule.
Guess what?
What?
They do. They have a game. It's like DC Legends or something like that.
Well, then they're not doing a very good job, because I wasn't aware that there was a five-man squad turn-based game like Marvel Strike Force and like SWGOH. Wasn't aware of it.
Yeah. They did it wrong. They did it wrong. It was a great game. It actually had a good storyline, and I enjoyed it for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
But
sadly, IP. I mean, back to the main point. Yes, IP is important. People will come for the game. They'll stay for the IP. So many people say that they came because it was a Star Wars game, and they came because it was a good Star Wars game, and they've stayed because it's Star Wars, and they love Star Wars, and that if it wasn't Star Wars, they would have stopped playing this game ages ago. You know, a bit like the way Raid Shadow Legends has lost its shine, which is why it has to advertise, God, so much on so many different channels. Because months ago, people were like, yeah, it's really good, it's really good. The same people that were saying that aren't saying it now. It's kind of like faded into the background. So, yeah.
So there's an IP.
Okay.
And there is an IP out there that, you know, it reaches out to many, many different age groups, from your little, 5-year-old cousin to adults. And that's this. I'm holding up for the podcast crew. I'm holding up the custom minifig that I got in Orlando of myself with the Escape Pod shirt on.
You're welcome, by the way.
It
was us Europeans that gave you Lego.
Well, that's very true. That's very true. Lego stands a test of time when it comes to IP. I remember playing it since I was a kid. I mean, as I mentioned earlier, I'm excited to put together a set that a listener sent for my birthday this past week. It all comes down to, can a IP carry a game no matter the game? I would play every single one of those the Traveler Tales games. My wife and I have a physical copy of every Traveler Tale not Star Wars Lego game that has come out since we've been married. It's kind of our little collection that we do. We have a physical copy of those games. Now, and this is kind of what I've been leading into, we have a game called Lego Legacy Heroes Unboxed. I love Unboxed. I love that it uses heroes in it as well.
Lot of potential.
It is essentially a Lego version of Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
With some tweaks.
With some tweaks. There's pros, there's cons. It's
in the launch phase, so it's going to have pros and cons.
It is going to have pros and cons. So, with an IP as long-standing as this, I really do think that it can go somewhere. And I'm having fun with it. I really, truly am. You started yesterday. What?
No, I started a couple days ago. I've been playing 3 days.
3 days.
Yes.
Yeah, I told you about it Wednesday night. You downloaded it Wednesday night.
I like that it doesn't take me a million years to do everything. but that's give the game 4 years, and we'll come back to this conversation, and I'll future me will tell past me, you had to open your mouth, didn't you? You had to say you could do everything in very, very quick. No, I've been playing it. I must admit, I am not a Lego aficionado like you, so I have no idea if the characters that I'm using are good or bad or anything like that, but I'm having fun with, I know the general thing, I know what taunts, I know what does an AoE, I know what stuns, because of all of the various. So from a Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes perspective, it's easy to pick up that game. And it is easy to pick up, and the animations, it's like the animations make me laugh because of the I laughed because of it just made me instantly think of the Lego movie, and as soon as I think of the Lego movie, I just think about the funny things that happened in that. But then as soon as I thought of that movie, I'm like, oh, I love that movie, I want the characters from that movie in the game. And then it just made me think, well, hang on a minute, I want all the Lego characters in this game, because I've got a red Benny, but I don't have Benny, and I want Benny. So I hope they bring Benny in, and I hope they make him free to play.
I mean, honestly, I'll tell you right now, if I took a pledge to go free to play in Lego Legacy, I would absolutely, I would absolutely say, with the exception of Benny.
Okay, fine. Because... See, I'm free to. I will be free to play. Did you join a guild yet?
Yes, I did join a guild. What I've done here, Heinzie alerted me to this, so I really have to thank the Escape Pod Castaways Content Creator Network for turning me onto this. Heinzie sent me a message. Let me see when he sent it to me here. He sent me
There's
a message.
There's nothing to do in the guild at the moment. There's literally nothing to do. You joined the guild and there's nothing to do in it.
Yet. He said, we need to play this game together. Started a few hours ago on a live stream. It's so much fun. And it has a mega chicken ability.
Yes.
He had me at Mega Chicken.
Yeah, I do like the guy in the chicken suit is brilliant. I use him all the time. I have maxed out his gear to the best of my ability, so I like him.
I need to find my collection of minifigs, because I have them set aside from all the rest of the Lego that I have for when friends' kids come over and stuff like that.
So you, me, and Heinzie, we need to start a guild, basically.
Well, we do have a guild.
Oh, right. Well, I need to leave my current guild and go join yours then.
Yes, the guild is let me.
Yeah, what's it called so I can go search for it later on this evening?
Actually, I don't know if he wants everybody joining. So right now, I will tell you that it has a very, very fitting name.
I don't think everybody in chat is gonna start the game and come and join our guild. I think you're safe telling me the guild name.
I know that, but they don't have guilds to where it's private invite. So for the time being, let's just say that the name fits what we do as as content creators. And I've actually, Neil, reached out to Gameloft.
Oh yes.
Yes, I've gotten the fan kit, which includes the logo that you saw on the splash screen for this game. I've also went and reached out. I'd love to be content creators for this game. I'd love to do a test account. I know you would love to get your hands on a test account.
Yes.
Because you know what? Should you spend the question I posed on the splash is, should you spend your time on this game? Here's the cons. You get daily energy twice a day. And by the way, Andy, we'll talk after. I don't think that Heinzie would have any problem with you joining the guild. but you get energy twice a day from what I've realized here, and you get a goodie bag every 4 hours. So
I cottoned onto that one, and I kind of think of that like the Bronzium cards. You get 5 Bronzium cards a day, and you can get something from it. These packs, you get them, and you open them, and you get something just kind of like standard. You know, nothing brilliant, but nothing crappy.
No, it's not. You get a character shard, you get a piece of gear, and you get some money.
Yeah.
For up to 6 times a day if you wake up in the middle of 8 hours of sleep and you swipe I love
which no one's gonna do.
I gotta say this. I love the way that you open the bags.
Yeah, I do like you've got to slice across the pack. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that is a con, because that is definitely one of the cons. Because I'm hoping that maybe in the future they'll just change it and say, well, we'll give you 5 of these packs, and you can open them within a 24-hour period every single 24. Hopefully they'll change that, because like you said, you know, I'm not going to log in every 4 hours just to get one of those things. I get to open one every time I've logged in, because I've logged in like 3 or 4 times over the last 3 days. So I'll open one, but I'm not going to log in every 4 hours to open those things. So yeah, they're not going to get people to play it every 4 hours by doing that. So maybe when we speak with maybe when we really given it some field testing, we can go to the Games Loft guys with a list of pros and cons and go, okay, here's your pros. You don't need to do anything here. You know, promote this, and here's all your cons. We'll start at the top and we'll work our way at the bottom. But obviously everything would be legitimately constructive.
What other cons do you have, Nev?
Well, what I don't like the 2-time. You know, when the things that the ones that are like challenges. When you go to when you're doing various different events to get tiles for various different areas, for various different special things. Some of them you're only allowed 2 attempts. Some of them are 3 attempts. And then that's it for a 24-hour period. If it's a challenge period, you may as well just let people do it until, you know, they can't go any further because they're not at that skill level, because it goes up in increasing skill levels. So, you know, it'll be like you'll be against level 4 characters, then level 8 characters, then level 12 characters, and level 14 characters. And I had to stop because my level 12s couldn't get past the 14s, but they were still putting a limit on it. So I think that they put unnecessary limits on the flow of the game, you know, where people are playing and they get into a flow and it's like, sorry, you can't do any more of these fights until tomorrow because we've limited how many goes you can have on it. I see that as a con, because if I'm playing and I'm having fun and I'm enjoying myself, I want to keep going until my characters stop me, not because they've put some arbitrary line and said, no, that's it, you've had enough, we're not going to let you play this group of stages anymore. So I saw that as a con. It annoyed the crap out of me, because I had decent gear on my characters and I wanted to keep going, but I couldn't. So I see that as a con.
Well, okay, so I've noticed that they do that for things that you can get later in the game, the sets, which kind of is a leader ability. If I'm understanding it correctly, is that what
I see it? I see it as like a group. It's like a group buff. It's like a
buff, but some of them.
It's like a starting buff for your entire group.
But at the same time, sometimes it's only for certain factions.
Yeah, but it is only for So you've got like your city and your pirate and stuff like that. So yeah. But obviously, as you get more characters, you know it would work to your favor. If you had 5 pirates, you would use like the pirate one. If you had 5 medieval characters, you'd use like the medieval one. If you had 5 city characters, and so on and so forth. So that you're not going to really see. I mean, it's a con, but not really, because if you've only been playing the game for 3 days, you can't really you can't really expect that type of special to work with you when you've only got 10 characters.
Right.
If you've got 50 characters. Yeah, if you've got like 50 characters and 10 different factions, then those things that you've collected, they're definitely going to make more sense. So it's only a con in the early stages of the game, but with a little bit of progression, you'll be like, oh, I got that like 10 days ago, and now it works for me because I've got this character and this character.
So let's do a quick comparison though. Of that styled intro to introducing levels, how you can only do that in 24 hours, to kind of how Galactic Legends are coming along. There is a comparison here, because they're limiting you. You have to unlock certain things to get there. So you get a level 8 character to be able to fight the level 8 battle, and then you progress on to the next event. Sure, you might only have 2 times, but if you see level 14, you can jump back on the level 8 and this comes into another pro in this game, where you can do a loot, which
it's like a SIM card. It's an unlimited SIM card.
There are no SIM tickets in this game. You
are limited to, on the character ones, like you're limited to 5 SIMs for a character node. For a shard node in SWGOH, you're limited to 5 loots on the character ones. I noticed that. But the other ones, there's no limit. There's no limit.
Yeah, there's no limit on the gear ones. And it does have a good find flow. I've noticed a little bit of slowness in the UI, which I believe is only going to pick up. But, the find flow in this game is absolutely spot on.
Yeah.
So say I want a pizza to give to the chicken guy. I can click on the pizza, click find, and then it will tell me where the pizza for the chicken guy is.
And then you can loot.
If you've completed it without losing any of your characters. You are then given gold.
So you're absolutely right. In that sense, that is like Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Although that brings me on to one of my other cons is I can't tell just looking at my characters what gear level I've leveled them up to. So I look at them and I can't tell if it's a 1, 2, or a 3. So I'm constantly going back to my characters to say, it's like, oh my god, are you level 1, 2? So that is infuriating, that one. They need to sort that one out, like sharpish.
They need to make it more clearer.
Yeah, it needs to be more predominant on the user interface, definitely.
Yeah, I've noticed the difference. It's how much blue is underneath each character. And I think it might turn green at 4 and things like that. I haven't gotten that high in the game. I'm looking forward to, because I'm actually really enjoying this game, and give it a recommendation. Spoiler alert at the end of this segment, I am going to say I'm going to play this game. But, it's not easy to tell what the gear is, but I'm absolutely positive they will figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to play one of your cons for you here, Neil.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because we were talking about this earlier. One of your cons for Lego Legacy was the fact that it is rated E for everyone.
Yeah, I'm not happy. It's not but this isn't an issue that I have with the game. It's an issue I have with the ESRB. Because the ESRB,
and it's not because you want it to be rated teen or mature for any content, as far as you don't want to see blood running from the chicken's eyes.
No,
you want it raised for what reason?
I want it raised because it's got loot box microtransactions in there. If it had straightforward microtransactions, you pay this and you get this, that's fine. But it's you pay this and you have a chance to get this. That's gambling. It's not for everybody. Kids are going to play this game, and I take issue with the gambling aspects, the gambling aspect of loot boxes. Like I said, that's not the game's fault. That is the ESRB. They should have given it a much, much higher rating. It shouldn't be everybody. It should be 12 to 15, I think, because kids will play this. Young children will play this, and they will want to make transactions, and they're going to bug the crap out of their parents for it. And their parents are going to be like, fine, all right, here's $10. And 10 seconds later, the kid's going to go back to the parents. I've spent it. It's gone. Can I have another $10? And it's going to encourage that. It's going to not encourage. Encourage is the wrong word. It's going to nurture in small children potentially a gambling bug. I spend money, I might get this. I don't get it, I spend more, I might get it the next time. I spend more, I might get it the next time. It's a gambling. So that's where I take, so that's where just like I do when the ESRB do that with any game that I think kids would play. This is a brand new game. It's just been launched. They had the opportunity and the chance and the knowledge to say, hey, there's kind of a gambling aspect that we really don't want small children involved in. So we're going to give it a better rating. Okay. Not that any rating's going to make any difference whatsoever, but if you're going to have a rating agency, then you may as well do it properly instead of not. That's the anarchist in me saying that it's useless anyway. But if you're going to have it, do it properly.
And to be clear, we are not against free to play. We're not against pay to play. We're not.
Not at all. I'm just against. I'm against the gambling aspect being marketed at children the way that it is, and like I said, that's not the game's fault. The game presents itself to the ESRB and says, here's our game, this is what we've got in it, give us a rating, and the ESRB comes back and it's like, there's your rating. That's it. There's nothing that the developers of the game can do about that. That's the ESRB. So and they've come back and said, yeah, everyone, including small children, can play this, can play this game. And like I said, small children are going to want to, but I want Benny. Can I have Benny? It's only $5 and I might get a Benny. Yeah, a child does, a 7 or 8 or 9-year-old child doesn't understand that they have a 0.01 chance of getting Benny for that $10. Or that $5, or that $2, and when they don't get it the first time, they're going to want to do it again and again and again and again.
Now let's look. I'm going to pull it up here. Hopefully it doesn't crash the computer here. But I'm going to pull it up here because I'd like to look at the economy, the cost of this game as compared to Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes.
Oh, there's going to be no contest. This one, the Lego one, is infinitely cheaper at the moment because it's at launch, so it's going to be.
Well, Dragon Champions is as well, and it's no longer in launch.
I've never played that game, so I can't use it as a compare. I can't. It would be wrong for me to use it as a comparison because I've never played the game. I've never even put the app on my phone or tablet or computer. No interest in it.
Helenix, while I'm loading this, Helenix says, I hate to say better regulation is needed, but Neil's right. There should be no gambling mechanics in games that are sold to minors. Technically, Helenix, that's the thing, though.
I'm not, but they have regulation ability. They just don't do it. They don't use it. They don't.
Yeah. The game's not sold to minors. It is a free-to-play game. You can download this game for free. And by the way, it is not just available on Android and Apple. I'm signing into it right now on my Windows machine. It is available on Windows, and I'm looking. I'm gonna really want to see if it's available on the Xbox as well. But the fact remains, this game is accessible in many places. It's actually an app. No BlueStacks required. No Nox player required. You could get this directly on your system. All right, so
I'll have to give it a try and see what it's like to stream using it as an app.
So I've got a goodie bag here, and of course I get exactly what I said. I got a character shard, a Lego stud. I got the coins, the studs, and I got a piece of gear. So do you have Galaxy Heroes readily available right now on any of your devices, Neil?
I don't, but I can. Hang on.
Okay, I just want to compare. So they have.
Yeah, I'll open it up on my phone. I've got my phone hanging to my left, so I'll see.
Yep. So I'm pulling up here. I'm going to pull up how much crystals are themselves.
Oh, what, in the Lego game?
In the Lego game, exactly. Because this will be a big piece of the puzzle for a lot of people on whether or not this is something that they would want to spend money in, not spend money in. I could right now. They do, by the way. They do have, under any purchase, have the words "costs real money."
So the warning is there.
The warning is there under every single purchase of money.
Yes. And adults, adults understand the implication there.
Yeah. So, your game open yet? We're doing this live.
I'm just opening it on my phone. Don't worry, it will open here any minute now. Yeah, okay, I've got it open. What do you want me to look at in game?
Okay, how much if I spend $5 American, how many crystals do I get?
Okay, I'll open the store. Crystals. So $5 would get you 610 crystals.
Okay, I'm getting 660 gems. If I spent $20, apparently the most popular.
Yeah, it's the most popular here. It says most popular on SWGOH as well. You get 2,800.
Well, it doesn't say it here. I was referring to SWGOH in this case. How many crystals do I get?
2,800.
How many?
2,800.
2,800. So I'm just about the same. 2,890. 2,890. So let's go into the shop. How much is a chromium card, or what's that called? I don't buy them, so I don't remember exactly what they're called here.
Okay, so a chromium data card is 350.
350 for a chromium data card that does not guarantee a character.
Yeah.
Okay. I am looking at a premium bag that comes with at least 10 crystal or 10 shards of a character. I don't know if 200 is the maximum. But
yeah, the minimum on chromium is 5.
5. And I can get up to 200 in the hero tiles, the shards in this game. It also includes gear. It also includes coins, which is the in-game money, from 25,000 to 150,000 for 400. How much is a pack in a chromium data card for one chance at 25 shards of a character?
It's 350, and it's 5. You get 5 or 25. Lots of characters, but you only get 5 or 25. That's all you get is 5 or 25. Well, between 5 and 25. So yeah.
So I'm looking at, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
The Lego
7.
game is offering more for your crystals.
Because of the inclusion of gear and money, I think so. It is a
in-game
larger
currency.
state.
Yeah, there's it's little Lego circles, little Lego gold circles is the in-game currency.
Yeah,
but there are other currencies within the game.
Coin. They do call it coin.
Yeah.
Faction packs. Let's look at a faction pack in this game. I've got a faction pack for First Order. That includes, let's see, each pack awards 1 card of character shards worth.
And faction pack is 700 crystals.
700 crystals. 525 for a builder's pack here, which gives you 1 of each reward. So that's cheaper. Buying faction packs. You have the explorer's bag and you have the builder's bag.
Yeah, no.
So it seems like
it's offering more. You get more.
It seems like builders and explorers are the light side and the dark side.
Well, we'll see. I don't, like I said, I've only been playing it for 3 days. I don't want to. I mean, I'm going to write down my pros and cons as I play over the week, and then we can put together all of the pros and the cons. We'll write it down. We'll throw it down in an email, and you can throw it off to the you can throw that off to the Game Loft people, and say, look, here's some from content creators, perspective that plays these turn-based games, for fun and for poops and giggles. This is the list of pros, and here's the list of cons. And if you hurry up and give us test accounts, we can really, really go to town with the pros and cons.
There have been people that have whaled out in this game. Yeah, I mean, there always will be.
Oh, there always will be, yeah.
And I'm already seeing some content creators put up some great content, including farmability and S through F tiers. The starting character that you get is an A+ character, unlike Jedi Consular.
Yeah. Clearly, the chicken-suited man is an awesome character.
He's actually rated a C+.
Really? I love that character. I love his AoE. I have geared him up to level 3, so
yes,
he packs a punch.
Apparently, he is level 3, but get this: there's a daily login character that
the wizard.
The wizard. He is apparently the easiest and best character to get.
Oh, right. Well, no, I mean, as soon as I saw that, it reminded me of the Marvel Strike Force when you would get the Hulk shards. You would get the Hulk.
Yeah,
you would
Hulk
get the Hulk
character.
shards. And then when I finally got the Hulk, it was like, yeah, I've got the Hulk, and he was awesome. And then they brought out a bunch of other characters, and he wasn't awesome.
I'm very, 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 very excited for the fact that the space faction is apparently a very good faction.
Well, dude, look, if you can convince the Game Loft to give us these to give us some test accounts, we can test all the factions and we can do some content on the, because that'd be fun.
Oh, I'm sure you would.
I think it would be a lot of fun to do content on the individual factions and say, look, this is what the game's about, this is what this faction does, and this is what this faction does, and this is the game. I mean, you're not going to have this faction like that, but if you play the game and you invest in this faction, this is what you will get out of the game, investing in this faction, and this one for this one, and this one for this one. We didn't really get, there was no way for doing that with Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. It was all mishmash, and the theory crafting was kind of all higgledy-piggledy. But if people had had test accounts that they could max out on the factions straight away. They could tell people, like, 6 months down the road, you're going to want this faction. 6 months down the road, you're going to want this one. In 3 months, you could get this entire faction, that kind of thing. So
I'm sure you would be an excellent pillar system creator.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
Oh yeah, yes, definitely, definitely Zed. If I get a test account, I will come up with a pillar system for this thing. I will. I'm going to play this game and I'll come up with a pillar system for it. I'm not going to do daily content on it though. That just ain't going to happen. But although if I had a test account, I would play with that daily.
Well, with that being said, I mean, out of here, let me pull them down here.
Yeah, and I want Benny. I've got the red space, man. I want the red space.
Why did I pick white on a bright?
I want the blue space. I want Benny. I've got the red space. I've got the red one, but I want Benny.
Okay, I've got 5 Bennies here.
See, I want Benny. I really, really want Benny.
Well, tell me, out of these 5 Bennies that I have, how many Bennies are you giving this game?
I'm gonna give it 4. It's got cons. It's got its cons, and I'm sure I'm gonna find more. But I've only been playing for 3 days, and the cons I can count on one hand how many cons it's got so far. So it's not doing too bad. But like I said, it has the advantage of being surrounded by these types of games. So the Gameloft can look at all of the launch cons from previous games and go, let's not make the same mistake as Marvel Strike Force, or let's not make the same mistake as Raid Shadow Legends. Let's not make the same mistake here. So the cons for this are completely different from the cons of other games. So it's just a case of, listing them, passing them to the developers, and getting them to do it. What?
It seems that our cons are all preferential.
Yes.
Rather than fundamental.
They're preferential. You're absolutely right. They are subjective. They're not objective.
So for me, I'm giving it 4.
Yeah, I'm giving it 4
Bennies.
I'm giving it. Oh, you're giving it 4.5 Bennies. Okay.
I'm giving it 4.5 Bennies here. Only because of the slowness of the UI at times, it makes me double tap.
The speed, the slowness, the 3 speed isn't good, and I'm just glad that Ray, when you start this game, and Andy, when you play this game, the auto does not kick in until level 10. So be patient. The auto battle will kick in at level 10. I wouldn't advise just hitting auto. I would at least kill 3 of your opponents and then hit the auto. Do not hit auto at the start, because the in-game that's another subjective con. The AI is terrible on this. I hit auto and got my butt handed to me, but as soon as I did it manually, I won and kept all my characters. So that is another subjective. So this is not a game where you can, at the moment, this is not a game where you can hit the auto at the start of battle. The auto is for halfway through the battle, once you've killed half your opponents. That's it. Once you've defeated half your opponents, then you can hit the auto. That is the one piece of advice I can give to everybody once you get past level 10. Do not waste energy going full auto at the start.
All right. So Thaddeus says that he wants to hear more about the art. I'm going to tell you right now, if you like Lego games, you're going to like the art.
It's awesome.
That's all you need to know.
So cool.
With that being said, I just got a message from Cubs fan Han, who says that he is going to be talking to a CG dev tomorrow.
Oh, nice one.
Not live. But he's going to be talking to a CG dev on his video that he is releasing tomorrow, and he encourages everyone to check it out.
Oh yeah, everybody should check that out for sure.
So, I think you'll all enjoy his discussion. I got to see it, a little bit of it, and I think everybody's going to be able to enjoy the video tomorrow. So. All right.
Say the words, Paul.
Yeah, with that being said, be nice to each other, damn it. We are out for the next week. We'll see you. We'll see you next week. We're out for a week, but tune in to Talking Clones and Talking Picard this Sunday on ours and Thaddeus's Going Nerdy channel, respectively. And who knows? We may start the Escape Pod Spaceship. So we'll see you guys next week. Be nice to each other, damn it. Nev, push the button.
You got it, mate. Ta-ta for now, folks.
What's going on? Where the hell are we? Paris?
Thank you for pressing the self-destruct button.
Attention! This is Colonel Sanders in forward command. Abandon ship! Abandon ship! All personnel proceed to escape pods. Close down the circuits. Evacuate the city. Self-destruct mechanism has been activated. Abandon ship! Where is it? Where is it? It's gonna be here. Out of order! Even in the future, nothing works.
This ship will self-destruct in exactly 10 seconds. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 6.
What happened to 7?
Just kidding. 3, 2, 1. Have a nice day.
Thank you.
Hello, friends. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy. The Escape Podcast was filmed in front of a live studio audience full of tweaked out murder bears.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.